And good morning. You are waking up to the vibe. She is here. She's here. Sherry is in the house. Good morning, Sherry. Our buddy Keith was worried about you on Monday. We're going to have a great show today. We've got a great topic on the agenda here. So I'm super excited as we get things rolling. Got to make a couple adjustments here, and then we will rock and roll. Give a few others a chance to get their coffee, get in the room. Feeling good today. We're ready. We're ready to roll this thing. Good morning, Dale. How are you? Good morning, Kathy. Good morning. Good morning, Vibe Tribe. All right. A special thank you to Marcy Follick for joining us on the show on Monday. If you have a pet, a little fur baby at home, you're going to want to watch Monday's show. Go back to the archives and check it out, because sometimes we might be doing more harm than good when it comes to caring for our animals. And we learned that on Monday, what these vaccines and what these pharmaceutical companies are doing to our animals. And on Friday, I'm super excited to bring, as you know, every Friday is music, and I will be bringing a music, Paul Drake, I will be bringing to the show, and hopefully I got his last name correct. You know me, I'm horrible with last names. Probably should work on that since I have my own morning show. It's always good to get the names right. But Paul's going to be joining us on Friday, and it's going to be a good time. Always good music here on Wake Up to the Vibe. Good morning, Kay. It's good to see you here with us this morning. And this show, hello, Kevin. Thank you for joining us. This show, it's not only for the ladies, but ladies tend to focus on hair color more than men. And I thought it's just a fascinating topic. Things have really, really changed over the years. So I thought, you know what, this is super cool. But this, I'm going to bring my guest in on the show here. And I'm going to tell you this. There are people that cut hair. There are people that color hair. But then there's people who take it to another level. And we're going to another level here, right, ladies and gentlemen. My guest is a stylist out of Willow Spring, North Carolina, owner of Hairband Studios. She has a Bachelor of Science in Cosmetics and Fragrance Marketing. She has taken her skills and her talents to the film industry, working with blood, guts, and gore. And she masters the art of coloring and design and hair care. Please welcome Jen Bigas to the show. Good morning,
Hi,
Jen.
good morning.
How are you?
Very
It's so good.
Good morning.
So good to have you here. Welcome to Wake Up. Thank you for waking up to the vibe.
Yes.
Is this early for you?
It's early. Yeah, it's early. It's early.
Yeah, like hairstylists. Well, hairstylists, they kind of like ease into the day, right?
I guess so. I work from home, so my children ease me into my day. So
Oh, God. What do you have?
early.
What do you got? You got a couple little ones running around?
I do.
Awesome.
8 and 4.
8 and 4.
Yeah.
Is their hair colored? Just out of curiosity.
Not yet. They want it though.
They want it badly,
Yeah.
right? So, this is going to be a fun topic. I want to just start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, Hairband Studios. I love the name of your studio. Kind of give us a background. Where'd you come up with the name? How long have you been in business and so forth?
I came up with that name. My husband's a music producer, so I kind of figured it would be something that like balances the two businesses, and it can go either way. It can either be like a hairband, like a tool, like that little rubber band you wear in your hair, or like totally like hair bands. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. It could be like totally like hair band. Party time.
So yeah.
So, how long have you been in business?
I actually started my own business once the pandemic hit. We decided to build in our home in March, and we opened in May, and it's just kind of taken off from there. People have really been receptive to being one-on-one and sanitation, and not going into larger salons where there's a lot of people. And it's been amazing. It's
Yeah,
been amazing.
very
Even for myself, it's been amazing.
well. But I mean, obviously, you've been at this a very long time, and COVID
Yes.
just made you dial in and leave the. Were you working for like a larger corporate salon type franchise
Yeah.
type place?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
and so
was.
now,
Yeah.
yeah, now you're doing this at home, and it's tough. It's tough working at home. At least I work out of my
It,
house. It
oh, it's yeah. Yeah, there's so many different elements of your life that are still happening, and you have to focus and have your business hat on, but then you have your dog owner hat on, and you have your mom hat on, and there's a lot, definitely.
Do you ever get
Yeah.
these emergency calls because people know you're home and they're like, "Oh my God, I just cut my own hair." Like with COVID, like people were like cutting. I was watching some. I think like Cooper Anderson on CNN even cut his own hair and hacked it up. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Like
Yeah, there's definitely been a few like fixer uppers, definitely. Yeah,
fixer uppers. That's right.
yeah, yeah,
You know
totally.
the guy who paints his car with a paintbrush. That's the same person that cuts their hair.
You
So
know, like, people got desperate.
yeah, well, I'm one of them. I was like, my girlfriend was like, "I'm gonna cut your hair." I'm like, "No, you are not cutting my hair." So how
Put
did you
the
go?
bowl over your head.
The bowl. I don't even know where did that come from? Where did that whole bowl cut come from? Like, where did
I
that
think it's like
originate?
from like the 1800s.
Like there was a bowl with a bunch of blades, and they just spun it around on your
Yeah,
head.
I don't know. Just like follow the line.
That's classic stuff. That's classic.
Yeah.
So how did you tell us a little bit about how you ended up in the film industry, and then I
Um,
want to hear about this blood, guts, and gore.
Oh yeah. I actually, when I graduated the Fashion Institute, I moved to Burbank to go to the makeup designery where I studied to be a journeyman makeup artist, and I kind of just fell into it. It's really weird. Right out of the gate, I was doing Brian Wilson's hair and makeup.
From the
So
Beach Boys?
yeah.
No.
And yeah, so like I met him, and then I was with him for a little while he was doing Smile, and then I just kind of did this complete like left turn and just went straight into this B horror movie industry, and it was just so much fun and amazing. Late nights, early mornings, you gotta get that chainsaw while the sun's rising, like stuff like that. So it was an amazing experience. It was an amazing experience.
That's funny.
I miss it.
You just totally helped my resume. Going forward, I'm like, yeah, man. I interviewed the girl that cut a Beach Boy's hair.
Yeah. Oh,
That's legendary. Are you
well, I did his
serious?
makeup. I was doing his makeup. His wife did his hair. We didn't let
Oh,
me do
is that
anything,
right?
so I was doing his makeup.
I
Yeah,
would
I did his
imagine I
makeup.
would imagine a person like Brian Wilson probably has his makeup done often.
I think he's very like. I think it was just for his project that he was working on. I think in his daily life, he's very a
He does
homebody.
he doesn't wear makeup
Yeah.
on a regular basis. Okay, good.
No, I don't think so.
So, all right, now the blood, guts, and gore. That to
Yeah.
me, I just finished watching the whole Breaking Bad, the
Oh, you're
series.
behind.
I'm like 3G. I'm seriously behind. You're behind, she goes. I was fascinated by the makeup. Like when
Yeah.
Jesse got beat up, he
Oh
looked.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
that's the give us a secret. What do they use? Ketchup for blood? Like what is the secret?
No, it's just a makeup palette, and you just layer colors, and you have to be very, light hands and light touches, and the lighter you are, the more real it looks. So just layer
It's
your colors,
fascinating.
and yeah,
Yeah. So you're
there is eye blood, which is really cool.
there's eye what? Glow? What did you say?
Blood.
Oh, eye blood?
Yes, it's like that's like the secret weapon.
Eye blood. Who knew? See that? So for our listening audience, Bev, Lori, Sherry, Jamie, Karen, Cindy, I see a lot of the ladies did show up today. Did you know that you too can buy eye blood?
Yes, you can.
I love it. Who knew? So, what are you, now in hairstyle? Because here's the thing that really piqued my interest. I think hair color is cool. And
Yeah.
my girlfriend's daughter colors her hair, and I just think it's cool. I'm like, oh, that's such a cool red. um is there like new tech? Because now, and I'm going to show a couple things here if you don't mind. I'm going to bounce
Sure.
around a little bit here. Let me go to this screen right here, and I'm going to scroll, because like when
Yeah.
when I'm gonna stop right here, right?
Okay.
This fascinates me. Is there a technology
Isn't
that
that
just came?
crazy? The industry is always changing. As a hairdresser and makeup artist, and you really need to stay on top of the trends and companies and other artists and what they're doing, and you're constantly learning. Every single day there's something new. So this is a prism technique. It's just lightening the hair, and
Did you
then
say did you say prism or prison?
yes, prism.
Okay. I'm like, this is a prison technique. Okay.
You're still on Breaking Bad. You're still on
That's
Breaking
right.
Bad.
That's right. So this is a prism technique.
Yeah,
Walk
yeah, and
walk me through.
it's lightening the hair wherever you want, like in certain places, and then coloring it in a way where the colors blend and create a prism, um, and it just gives off this beautiful effect. It's like one of my favorite techniques.
Yeah, I just when I was reviewing your stuff, I'm like, this is just to me amazing, and it's got such a modern, fresh, cool look. I think like 10 years ago when people colored their hair, you were almost like an outcast, right? Or you were
Right.
getting old, so you colored your hair. Now today, it's trendy, right?
It's
Like
everywhere.
now this one here, because I love this. Like I love the red. Seems almost, it's almost like it's a
Yeah,
burgundy.
there's different colors in there. There's purple, I think violet, and some red in there. Yeah, that's really pretty, and that's done directly. That her hair wasn't lightened for this service. Those colors are just directly on her natural hair, so it gave it a softer effect.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. I love how the wine color comes down the side, the side of her head. It's just very cool. And then this one here, come on, this is amazing. Like, how do
Yeah,
you do
thank you.
this?
Thank you. This is the same prism technique that was used in the other photo. It's just a bigger surface area, so it's just lightening the hair and layering the color and blending it together to create this prism illusion. This is like one of my favorites. It's beautiful, and she rocked this look really hard. So
you just took the words right out of my mouth. She rocks it. Like even with
yeah,
the dark colored shirt and the black lipstick,
yeah,
like she's a brand right here. I
yeah,
love
it's amazing.
yeah, individuality to the core right here. And I mean I love this is like a rainbow. I'm going to leave both of these up here so you can tell us a
Yeah,
little bit about.
yeah, kids are so adventurous, and they're like, oh, I want this color and that color, and then you have more creative freedom, I feel like, when children ask you to do their hair. So I got to do some painting on her hair, and it came out beautiful. I just love that rainbow effect. And
Yeah, it
it's
looks awesome.
and it's literally like, I think this was like four pieces of hair that were colored, and it just creates this amazing rainbow effect.
How long does it take you to do something like this? Like, does somebody and I know a lot of the ladies already know the answer to this, so this is
It
kind of
depends. It depends. It's all about processing and applications. So you have to follow the manufacturer's directions. When you can't cut corners with anything. So it's sometimes depending on how long and how much people. I have clients that have like this much hair, and I have clients that have like, damn,
right.
we're gonna be here a while.
like when they show up at the salon, you're like this for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
I have to tell you,
That's my all-nighter. Yeah.
that's an all-nighter. That's right.
Yeah.
We better go get a bottle of wine.
Yeah. We're here all night.
I love this haircut right here. I just think both of these haircuts. This is two different people, right? This is two different
Yes,
styles.
it is. Yeah, it's two different
Yeah.
people. And then if you go back a little bit, it's the same haircut, and one side is cropped and the other side is really long. So
When you
that's for the
say
one
go back, I
right
got
there.
you.
Yeah, right
Okay.
here. So that's one side of the hair, the long part, and then the other side is shorter. So it's a real asymmetrical pixie cut.
Yeah, yeah. How adventurous. This is so cool. Like you're a designer.
Thank you.
Like
That's definitely something I love about what I do. I feel like I don't just do hair. I try to educate all my clients. I try to, make them feel. I try to give them something that they haven't been able to give themselves, and it's the whole thing. Like it's from start to finish, and I love to just be able to, like, I try to treat everybody when they come into my chair like a character from, if I was reading a script, I read their script, they tell me about themselves, and I try to put all those pieces together and,
right.
try to listen to everything, and I try to create a character for them.
I
Yeah.
like that. Hairband Studio. You too can be a movie star. I mean,
Yes.
it's awesome. So let's now we're going to talk about hair now. I wanted to show our viewing audience some of your work because I think your
Okay.
work is spectacular. And I'm going to tell you this, when I came up with the idea of talking about hair, like I've had a few people go, seriously, Joe? I'm like, no, this is serious business, right? But I went and I was doing some homework and I was looking at different stylists online. Like I wanted somebody who was legit. And then when I read your profile and I'm like, okay, here's somebody from the film industry. Like this is cool. And I saw the whole makeup thing. But I want to talk about something that it's on my mind. When I see a lot of this stuff, I see chemicals. That's the first thing that comes to my mind because lately I've been like trying to put the right things into my body and drinking chlorophyll and alkaline, right?
I do chlorophyll.
It's amazing, right?
Right?
Chloroxygen. I'm a preacher. I love it. It's
Every day.
Amazing. Game changer. That's a whole nother show. Now hey, I found a fellow chlorophyll drinker.
Yeah.
So when I see a lot of these different styles and you sit for, how long do you have to sit with this stuff on your hair? It's like a hour, 2 hours.
I mean, that's about like a regular root touch is 45 minutes, but it's not the 1950s anymore.
Well,
So
that's what I need you to educate. I
yeah,
told you I was 3G.
you know, back in the back when hair color and stuff was created, it was created with very heavy chemicals. People would come into the salon, their hair not washed for like a month so they can get their hair done because they didn't want it to like hurt their scalp. No, the technology has changed so much. It's all there's all protectors, conditioners, bond builders. I use Joico exclusively here in my salon, and I chose Joico Lumishine because of the low ammonia and all of the conditioning properties that it has for the hair. They're all about keeping the hair happy and healthy. So that was a huge thing for me to research and have in this space. So
I've
yeah, it's come a
never
long way.
I've never heard anybody refer to hair as in having an emotion. Your hair looks very happy.
Mm-hmm.
I want my hair to be.
There's definitely some unhappy hair out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I want my hair to be happy. I think my hair's a little unhappy. It's sad. And I want to talk about that, right? So men, let's talk about men. And we're giving a lot of attention to women and the different colors that are out there and the different styles. But what about that silver fox? That guy who says, man, should I cut it all off? Every time I get a haircut, I leave depressed. Like I do. I just get so depressed because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. I watch all this gray hair fall on the ground, and I'm like, my forehead gets.
It's like it's embracing your silver and embracing your gray is definitely like a huge trend, especially after COVID, where men and women haven't been to a salon, dyeing or coloring their hair, they're growing it out, and then they start looking at them. It's really taking off. It's really, really taking off. I've done quite a few women now, and I've cut a lot of color out where the women are just like embracing their silver. It's the new young. It's definitely the new young. Like, don't be afraid to embrace it and
rock the silver. Rock the silver. Yeah. So, all right, you're gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, and I'm gonna get slack from the viewing audience on this. I know I am. The other day, I'm watching a movie. The other night, I don't watch movies during the day. Okay, so the other night I'm watching a movie, and Richard Gere was on. Okay, and I don't know. It was an older movie, but his hair. I said to Michelle, I go, Michelle, check out his hair. Like, he's got pretty cool hair. And I just realized, like, because now I knew you were going to be on the show. Like, I'm looking at everybody's hair. People are probably like, I'm in the grocery store. Why is he looking at me like that? And I want to go up and say, that's amazing hair. You have, that's what you do, right? But he had this like silver pewter. It almost looked like it was pewter. It wasn't salt and pepper. Salt and pepper to me is like, yeah, man, you're getting old. Like, you used to have black hair. That's me, salt and pepper. You used to have black hair. Now you're like all salt. What if I came to you and I wanted that cool pewter? Like, you almost look at it from a different angle. And you follow what I'm saying? Is it called pewter? What is that?
There's actually a color pewter.
No, is there really?
Yeah, sure. 100%.
And does it work well with people with like do they call it gray? Like, I have gray hair.
More like a steel or a gray or a pewter, and you just
steel.
It's a fashion or vivid or semi-permanent hair color, and you just put it like right directly on top of your hair and blend it in and have pewter hair.
Oh my gosh, you just found. Listen, I'm gonna confess something. So when I first moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, you're gonna laugh at this. I had somebody cut my hair, and she said, "Hey, I think I should put a little color in your hair." And I'm like, you know what? I don't know anybody here. I would never do this at home. I'm not going to color my hair. Like, I'm too old to color my hair. Like, I didn't have this open mind, right?
Okay.
I don't know where she got this color. I think it was a leftover packet from somebody else who stopped her midway and said, "No, I don't want that color." It was like this strange color, brown slash blonde slash with silver. Didn't work. It didn't work, and I couldn't get rid of it. I had
Really?
to. Yeah, well, maybe I could have. Maybe I could have gone. You tell me. Could I have
You know,
gone?
it depends on what. There's permanent hair colors, there's demi-permanent hair colors, and then there's semi-permanent hair colors. So if she used a permanent hair color on you, yeah, you're not getting rid of it. So it's
Yeah,
not going to fade away or.
yeah. I'm having a beer with my cousin, and he's looking at me, and he's doing one of these. He's tilting his head while he's looking at me. He goes, "You know what? Your beard is one color, your mustache is another, and your hair's another. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so depressed." He noticed.
Oh, he noticed. That's so
But if I
funny.
come to you,
Yeah.
I like what you said, steel. I want to look
Yeah,
like
you want some
steel.
steel?
That's
Just a
better
few
than
pieces of steel?
yeah, it's better than saying I have gray hair. Anyway,
Yeah.
the show wasn't designed. This morning show was not to talk about my hair. I don't know how we went down that road. Let's talk about the. So you're saying that as men get older and their hair color changes, you're saying silver's the new in. That's youth,
Yeah, even for
wisdom.
women, men and women, it's really changing. It's a huge trend. I hope it stays. I hope it stays. You know, like men and women, depending on where, your genetics or, your family history, people go gray sometimes at like 30 and they start coloring their hair full time at 30, and then we had this huge break of hair color and now people are just taking it by the horns. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
So somebody had told me one time, and I don't know how true this is. Maybe they were trying to make me feel better about myself. Is that silver? The silver. Why does hair turn silver in like at 30 years old? Right, your hair is turning silver. Is it a lack of copper in the diet, or did someone lie to me?
No, it's a lack of. Was it
That's
not
so.
drinking their chlorophyll?
Yeah, you should have started drinking chlorophyll years ago.
Years ago.
I mean, it just
Yeah.
happens. I mean, there's no
Yes, there's a
preventing it.
lot of. Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely genetics. It's a loss of melatonin in the hair, so it's a loss of color in the hair. But there's a myth. There's like a old Greek myth about why people go gray, and it's actually soften your features as you get older. So the
You're making me
lighter your
feel.
hair gets,
I knew there was a reason.
yeah, well, the older you get, the darker your features get. So your hair gets lighter to soften. It's it's nature's highlights.
Oh man. I knew there was a
Yeah.
reason I asked you to be on this show. Nothing's gonna get in my way today. That's it, man.
No, there you go.
So let me ask you this, okay? And I know this is a tough one for women, okay? When they start suffering hair loss and at a young
Mhm.
age, right? Is
Yes.
there something that our viewing audience, if somebody is dealing with that, is
Yes.
there something that like wash your hair less? Give us some tips. Like, why
No.
does it happen, and how can you fix it?
So number one, I tell all my clients to go get blood work done. You definitely have to see what's going on within your body. It could be hereditary. That's like number one. Number one's hereditary. Number two is age. Um, but the being very young and losing your hair, it's definitely something going on internally. So you have to, I tell everyone first to go get checked out by a doctor before we start figuring out what is going to work for you. So I also specialize in hair extensions. We figure out what the best route is for the client. And from there, if that doesn't work, then we start experimenting with hair pieces and other products to help them feel good. You know, it's definitely something that can really tear into someone's confidence. You know,
Yeah.
being a woman. So
Yeah. I know that's a tough
I
one.
definitely have a few clients that we are working on getting their confidence rebuilt. Definitely.
Do you have different styles? Like if somebody, if let's say a woman in her 40s came to you, or early 50s, and was suffering from hair loss, do you have different
Mhm.
hairstyles that maybe will shape things a little differently? I'm
Oh,
curious.
100%, 100%. You know, it's as easy as putting a few highlights in certain places and showing them how to wear their hair just a little differently. And there are products, there are like products out there that will help give the illusion of thicker hair and helping the hair stay in certain spots. So I try to educate everyone on these products and try to find the right product for them to use daily. And it's hard because we do live in North Carolina. It's hot. you're you're out in the sun, you're
Yeah.
sweating, like it's hot. So there's definitely some challenges when it comes to our weather and our hair here. So, but
Well, because the seasons come to play too. We're almost like animals. Like animals will shed at certain times of year, right? No, because I feel maybe I'm speaking of myself again. I don't know. But I find that sometimes I feel like in the summer when I'm sweating a lot, I almost feel like my hair feels thinner. And then in the winter, it feels thicker. Is that my
no, I,
imagination, or does that actually happen?
no, you're right. You're right. And I definitely think like the crazy pollen that we have here. I think it all like affects our skin, our hair, our bodies, like allergies. I've never had allergies in my life when I moved here.
Yeah.
And so I think all of that, affects our hair, definitely.
Yeah. Let me
Definitely.
ask you
And
this.
you're
And
not,
this is a real simple question, Jen. How often should somebody be washing their hair? I've heard crazy stories. Crazy, like my son, when he was like 10, he wanted to grow dreadlocks. I go, first of all, you're 10 and you're Italian. Let's start there. But anyway, how often should somebody wash their hair? What's healthy and what's not?
um, it depends on the individual. Um, it depends on your exercise, your lifestyle. I mean, if you're working out 3 hours a day and sweating and doing this, you're going to be washing your hair every single day. So I don't think that it's about healthy. I think it's about lifestyle. If you're doing if you're doing like huge color sessions and you have really blonde hair, you definitely have to take that home care into consideration. It's an investment when you come into the salon and you pay all this money to get your hair done, and then you go home and you use drugstore products and you're washing your hair every single day, and then so there's definitely that line of healthy to non-healthy. So you definitely have to watch what you're using at home. It's all about your lifestyle, what works for you. But I don't think healthy, you know, I wash my hair every day. So
Yeah. I know it's an odd question, but I've had people
no, but
say,
no, I
no,
get it. I get it every day. Every day
you
someone
do.
asks. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now here's and now we have men in the room. So men, listen up. If you're so for men, it's easier to say I'm losing my hair, and they struggle like so they'll save what they can, and then
Okay.
next thing you know, you got the comb over going, right?
Right.
But at what point do you, as a hairstylist, you don't want to lose a client, but at what point do you say, just shave it off, just go bald? Bald is in,
Ball was
maybe.
in, and I'm, I'm not afraid. I'm more. I would like to show my client. I would like to give my clients options right up front. Like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we try this? Um, right away. Like, I'm like, if you want, let's. Have you ever shaved it before? Yeah. Oh, and then I normally get. I'm afraid. Like, I don't know what my head is gonna really look like.
Yeah.
So that's what that's like a huge, question I get. And then, kind of check it out and see how the hair is growing. And, I have a few clients that have just said, sure, let's just buzz it. Let's give it a shot. And they come back to they come back to get it buzzed. So,
Yeah.
they enjoy the time. And I think just like
Some
someone else being there.
some men
Along.
have some men are good at being bald because they have like the perfect head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I would not be a good. They would ask me what happened to me. I got like this dent in the back. I don't know where it came from. I got this flat spot on the side. Like sometimes I feel my head. I go, gosh, I hope I never go bald. Like some people, you guys like, man, you just got the perfect head to be a bald
Perfect
person.
shaped
Yeah,
head. I know.
yeah.
No.
It's
I hear you, especially not even on men, on women. When women go for it and they're like, let me just, I'm getting rid of the hair and I'm shaving it and I don't care what my head looks like. And then it's like, voila, you have like the most beautiful shaped head. You're like,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
it
So I have to ask you, Jen, and as a hairstylist, I kind of will suspect what your answer will be, but I know it's going to be sincere and honest. Is there really a big difference from the chemicals that we buy from a salon versus the chemicals you get from the local drugstore or the local supermarket?
100%, 100%.
There really
It
is.
is, yes,
That's why your
100%.
hair's not happy. It's like
That's
drinking cheap beer. It's like if
yeah,
you
there you
drink cheap
go.
beer, right? You want a good beer or you want a lousy beer. You can buy
Yeah.
beer for 99 cents a six pack if you wanted to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a huge difference between drugstore and professional hair care products. Yeah. Yeah. Drugstore products, I mean, even like box dye, like if a woman's been box dyeing her hair over and over again, there's metals in that box dye.
Oh, wow.
Professional professional hair care products do not use, there's no metals in professional hair care. Even shampoo from the drugstore is either watered down, made with salts, um and stuff that's really just going to damage the hair, dry it out. I mean, I'm not saying all drugstore products, you got to do what you have to do sometimes in your life, but there's definitely a huge difference between the science behind. That's why you come to a salon, and that's why you buy a
Right.
salon.
Yeah.
There's definitely a huge difference. You'll feel it. You'll see it.
Yeah. You sold me on it. I believe you.
Okay.
I've always wondered. I'm like, I'll just use Irish Spring, the bar of soap on my head. And it's, you know, then I'm scratching all day going, there's something wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with
Yeah.
me.
No. No. Leaves that
So what
nice waxy layer.
Yeah, that's right. And the bees seem to really like you. What what are some home remedies I have four sisters, so growing up they would
Okay.
go through these different phases. Like I think back when you bleached your hair they were actually using Clorox. I think
No.
I'm not sure, but like I know chemicals have changed and styles have changed and technology has changed, but break it down to give me a home remedy. Should I put egg yolk in my hair or
Oh, I mean,
coconut?
coconut oil is amazing. Coconut oil. I suggest coconut oil when you go to the beach, and you can throw it through your hair. You throw it through your ends. It actually has a natural SPF of 15, so it'll protect your hair color. So I recommend from the salt too. So I recommend if you have like you freshly colored hair, and you're going to the beach, definitely throw some coconut oil through those ends and put a hat on, and it'll definitely help protect your color
Wow,
without
good to
drying your
know.
hair. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good to know.
that's a good tip.
Well, there,
Egg and beer, like it always, that's like, the old school conditioning remedy. I've done it. It works. I don't know, raw egg in the hair.
that's yeah. I struggle with that one. I eat my eggs and I drink my beer. You know?
Right. So it's to each their own where they want to go that route, but it's something that's been done and it works. It's kind of gross, but
Yeah, yeah.
if you're
No, it's
gonna do it,
crazy.
do it.
I'll tell you what, and for our listening audience, if you would, because a lot of times my guests will go back and they'll read the different chats. I haven't been following them because you and I are talking, and there's definitely a lot of comments in the room. I can see a lot of the comments. So after the show, I'll ask you if you could take the time and go back.
Sure.
But for our viewing audience, if you don't mind, maybe type in some questions for Jen. If you have any questions that you want her to answer later on, please go in there and just type in any question. You've shared some great information. This was a lot of fun having you on the show
Yeah,
today.
it
I
was great.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
At
Thank you
first
very much.
I
Amazing.
yeah, I started thinking you're going to talk hair for 40 minutes. How do you, but I knew it as soon as I met you.
40 minutes?
Yeah, heck, 45 actually.
Wow. I could talk to you all day.
You're going to see me in your salon. I'm coming there. I want to look like steel.
Yes, pewter. We'll get your pewter on.
Get my pewter on. I love it. Hey, Jen, listen, I want to thank you so much for being a guest. If somebody wanted to reach out to you personally and ask for just some advice if they were losing hair, whatever the case may be, do you welcome that? Do you welcome people from out of state, out of the country?
100%.
How would they get a hold of
100%.
you?
You can go to my website, hairbandstudios.com, and there are links there through Facebook, Instagram. You can also book directly through that website, and you can message me about anything, and I'm happy to give you any information I can and share every and any information I can.
Awesome. Don't go away. I'm going to close the show out with you, and then we'll chat for just a second or two once the show is over. I want to thank everybody for joining us here, ladies and gentlemen, on Wake Up to the Vibe. Make sure you like and you share, and make sure you follow our page. We're always bringing interesting guests and extraordinary people to the show. So give us a like, a share, and a follow. We appreciate your support. And I want to thank my guest, Jen Bigas from Hairband Studios, for joining us. Have a blessed day. Pay it forward and let your light shine. Bye-bye, everybody. Enjoy yourselves.